Welcome back to Exquisitely Aligned, where we champion you to express your truest self outwardly, so you become exactly what the world is missing today. Yes, I know and realize that's a big, bold ask. And this is the work I do. I'm here to help you see the beauty deep within yourself so you can express your truest self. Hi, I'm Gina, your life artist. Today we'll be discussing the art of creating beauty while in your power during the age of Aquarius. What a beautiful time or magical time to be alive. I hope you would agree. Here we sit with the dawning of the age of Aquarius. A very exciting time. You might feel like you were born for this time. I sure know I do. I feel it way down deep in the core of my essence, my divine essence. I know that everything I've experienced and survived was a culmination of things to prepare me for my work right now. Are you feeling the same? Maybe you are starting to feel a transition happening. Possibly you are feeling called or ready even to be more than you've been before, to use your gifts in a more profound way, to fulfill your desires even more, to speak your truths in a more widely heard way. Who knows? Maybe you're toying with a radio show, a podcast, a YouTube channel, or all of the above. So moving into the age of Aquarius, it's exciting. We are leaving Pisces, an emotional time, a time of illusion, a time of religion, a time of conformity. And just let that sit for a moment. Notice how you feel as I say those words one more time. Emotional, illusion, religion, conformity. And now notice what comes up for you. Emotional, illusion, religion, conformity. What sensations and images does that conjure up? I know for me, I would say it is spot on everything I've been witnessing for decades, like conformity. There's the word I love to disagree with. I stand 100% for you not to have to conform. So you can imagine my joy in leaving and kissing that goodbye and good riddance. Okay, out. Go. No more. Get out. Go. Toby, out. I'm not going to have every dog. Toby, come. Mark, take the dogs. I got to get this done. You no. Go upstairs. Go upstairs. Go. Go by Daddy. You ruined it. Damn it. Holy fucking shit. Welcome back to Exquisitely Aligned, where we champion you to express your truest self outwardly so you can become exactly what the world is missing today. Yes, I know and realize that's a big, bold ask, and this is the work I do. I'm here to help you see the beauty deep within yourself so you express your truest self. Hi, I'm Gina, your life artist. Today we'll be discussing the art of creating beauty while in your power during the age of Aquarius. What a beautiful time to be alive. I hope you would agree. Here we sit with the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I know, do you hear the song in your head? I do. A very exciting time. You might feel like you were born for this. I know I sure do. I feel it way down deep in the core of my essence, my divine essence. I know that everything I've experienced and survived was a culmination of things to prepare me for my work right now. Are you feeling the same? Maybe you are starting to feel a transition happening in a positive way. Possibly you are feeling called or ready even to be more than you've been before, to use your gifts in a more profound way, to fulfill your desires in a huge way, and to speak your truths in a more widely heard way. Who knows? Maybe you are toying with a radio show, a podcast, a YouTube channel, or all of the above. So moving into the age of Aquarius is very exciting. We are leaving Pisces. Okay, Pisces, an emotional time, a time of illusion, a time of religion, a time of conformity. And just let that sit for a moment. Notice how you feel as I say those words again. Emotional, illusion, religion, conformity. And now notice what comes up for you. Emotional, illusion, religion, conformity. What sensations and images does that conjure up within you? I know for me, I would say it is spot on. Everything I've been witnessing for decades, like conformity. There's the word I love to disagree with. I stand 100% for you not to have to conform. So you can imagine my joy in leaving and kissing goodbye and good riddance to conformity. Are you feeling ready for a change? Are you feeling ready to be a part of something exciting like the age of Aquarius? Let's spend a moment on that, on the age of Aquarius. I'm an Aquarian, so I have an intimate experience with this kind of energy. I know it very well. The age of Aquarius is about our imaginative side. Aquarius is an air sign. Now, most people think it's water, but it's not. It is an air sign. And as an air sign, it's even more expansive, much more open, airy. I can't even think of another word, but it sounds much less confining, more enjoyable, like we can breathe a full breath, even more freely, light and airy, imaginative, more childlike. I think of how much fun it was to be young and carefree as a child, to simply blow bubbles and watch them float up to the heavens. Do you remember that feeling? Our big imagination wondering what it would be like to ride a bubble above the clouds. And the age of Aquarius is even more expansive. I love the sounds of that. Kind of like being at the ocean or maybe on top of a mountain and seeing for miles and breathing in the fresh air. Expansive in the ways we think, in the ways we appear. Okay, not literally our size, but expansive in how we express ourselves, not worrying about what others think or what they'll say, but simply being our truest self through and through. No illusions necessary, just us in our authenticity, being transparent. Some call the age of Aquarian the highest expression. This gives me goosebumps. That's exactly what exquisite alignment is all about, being the truest version and vision of ourself, our highest self, our finest self. and creating the space for others to feel safe and inspired to courageously do the same. It's about authenticity instead of illusion. Talk about freeing, right? I think it's so much more enjoyable and I don't know, freeing, I guess, to be authentic than to play the role that is truly an illusion of who we are. Don't you? To put on an illusion, that's a lot of work. And then remember when and where we can let our guard down? No, that's not fun. So to recap, we are shifting from emotional, illusion, religion, and conformity to imagination, expansion, authenticity, and our highest expression. A breath of fresh air. I hope you're starting to feel it. Are you ready to free yourself from restriction and illusion to join me in the even more expansive, authentic way of showing up? And let me say, maybe it didn't feel so restrictive for you, but can you see the restriction that others were dealing with? Your family, your loved ones, your friends. So let's talk about what this means for you. What this means for your loved ones, your family, your friends, your community, your so forth. What this means for society on the whole. When you express your truest self outwardly, you truly become exactly what the world is missing today. So now think about that for a moment. Think about what you see missing today. Let's use love. If you wish for the presence of even more love in the world, you become that love. If you wish for greater acceptance, you become that. You get the picture? With that in mind, think about 3 positive people you know and think about the change they would become. Mind-boggling, right? You see where I'm going with this. It's this energetic reaction and it's magical, but it can only happen if you are willing, if you are ready, and if you say yes wholeheartedly to the universe, universal wisdom, God, whichever, to this invitation to be part of this amazing time in our lives. So with this comes my big question for you today. Will you accept this invitation and join this transformational age of Aquarius? Today, I'll share with you what I believe it takes and what happens when you say yes. This is an invitation to discover or maybe realize, reclaim, and reconnect with your missing pieces. This is an invitation to show up and shine unapologetically. This can also be called stepping into your power. So let's keep it with that. Let's go with stepping into your power. You become exactly what you see missing in the world today. That's your superpower. Remember expansion, imagination, being authentic, or our highest expression? Those were the words we spoke about just a few moments ago, and you can probably see and feel how this relates. I realize this can sound like a heck of a lot of work, as if it's time-consuming, or as if it's a pipe dream, but it's not. And you know that. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be with me, would you? So let's break it down. Break it down into its parts. First, discovering or realizing, then reclaiming, and finally reconnecting with your missing pieces. And then showing up and shining unapologetically, or today, as we're going to call it, stepping into your superpower. Let's go in order of what needs to take place. I believe it's impossible to be in your superpower if we are missing pieces of ourselves. What do I mean? Well, I've seen it happen and even had it happen to me. So let me give you a few scenarios of how and when this happens. You may have been around or the victim of someone misusing their power, like I spoke about last week, in which case it can leave you feeling fearful of power or overwhelmed by the thought of it. Think of a narcissist, an authoritarian, an abuser. When placed in those situations, it's only natural to give up parts of ourselves to remain safe, to not upset that controlling person, essentially to keep the peace. And that happened in the home where my husband grew up. It's evident to him now that he looks back with adult eyes, but then he had no idea. They tried to keep the peace and they mastered it by giving up their emotions, their truths, and pieces of themselves, he and his mom. I know it makes me sad as I tell you that. And if you've been in that situation, you know or know someone who has or is currently, you know how sad it really is. Now, another scenario might be you may have been asked not to stand in your superpower because when you do, you took away the limelight from someone else, and they couldn't let that happen. So in that case, again, it's easier to give up parts of who we are in order to not shine or outshine the person who needs or craves the limelight in order to please them. And this can happen in childhood between siblings or with a parent. It can happen in a marriage when two people are going strong in their careers. And it can even happen in a partnership in your business. Another example happens when you're being raised. If you don't have the proper role model, possibly your parents gave into societal norms. Maybe you lived somewhere or grew up somewhere or are still living somewhere where people must follow instead of lead. That will leave you feeling uncertain, won't it? Let's face it. This isn't something we are taught in school, although I think we should be, right? This happens only if you are fortunate enough to have a mentor, an amazing mentor. And lastly, let's talk about the naysayer. Possibly there is a naysayer in your life, or maybe had been. The kind of person who tells you or tries to convince you, probably, that there is no way in hell you can achieve what you feel called to achieve. And that can happen because they fear you failing. They might fear you succeeding. And probably they feel or fear you leaving them. So there's giving up parts of ourselves because someone misused their power, like a narcissist or an abuser we talked about, right? Or an authoritarian. Giving up parts of ourselves because someone was afraid we'll steal the limelight, which is so far from the truth. Or not having the proper role model. And lastly, being in the presence of a naysayer. And you know what? Let me throw in one more because this happened to me when Mark, my husband, was fighting for his life with kidney and liver failure. I gave up parts of myself to keep him alive and care for our two young kids. Sure, it was probably only for about 24 months, 2 years, but let me share with you, it took nearly that long for me to reclaim those missing pieces I willingly gave up. It's true. Think about caring for a child, especially a chronically ill child or terminal, a loved one, aging parents, you get it. Each of those can cause us to give up pieces, and might I add, very important pieces of ourselves. So we must first start there, discovering and realizing what happened that caused us to do this and reclaiming them as our own and really reconnecting with them, nurturing them and exploring them, because we may have forgotten what it felt like to express those parts of ourselves. And sure, that might sound daunting, but it's truly a way of coming home to who we are born to be. I think of it as exciting. It's like a party filled with joy. Those are the parts you need to feel like yourself, to feel fulfilled on the deepest of levels. Okay, let's talk about power now. The word power, I find, has been misunderstood and gets a bad rap sometimes. Some think it's masculine, possibly like being pushy. And that is a turnoff. I definitely agree with you. And of course, if you've witnessed someone misusing their power, you will definitely be left with a pit in your stomach, a bad feeling. When you are in your power, it is very positive experience, a really good one, a good thing. It's a blessing. It's your birthright. It's your birthright. It really is. It's a beautiful thing, and not in a feminine way. Remember, we've spoken at length about beauty. It's not superficial. Beauty is super fuel. This is where a positive, energetic exchange takes place, going back and forth, one between you and the universe, God, universal wisdom, your connection with your creator. You pick the word. Your connection with the divine. Your connection with your surroundings, with everything around you. I'll let you fill in the blank and choose the words that suit you today. But you understand it's the most satisfying, most fulfilling, most meaningful connection. The one where you feel safe, you feel guided, you feel all knowing, because you are. You are in your flow. The right people appear in your life. They appear to help you with your desires and with your dreams, to help you achieve your calling, because power is love. And that's in capital letters, Love, maybe some glitter, neon, I don't know. Power is oneness. It's the energy of being connected. Power is truly divine. You standing in your power is divine. And you standing in your power inspires, encourages, and gives others the permission to do it themselves. Not that anyone needs this permission, but sometimes we have forgotten that we have the permission. And so you can remind them by being the example they need. As you do so, you'll find others will find their way as well. And this starts a chain reaction. Remember that energetic exchange? So maybe I should say, power is where you live and appear outwardly from your all-knowing place, the place of yourself intimately, and loving and accepting each of those pieces, because they make you radiant. They are your genius. And this is freeing on so many levels. You see, we've been taught from a young age to look outside of ourselves to find answers. But I tell you the truth, you will never find it outside of yourself. And sure, the self-help industry doesn't want me to tell you that, but I have to, because it's the truth. That missing piece, or those missing pieces, your what's next, your yearning for something richer, deeper, and even more meaningful, is in the very depths of you, not outside of you. It's deep. It's so deep that only you can know what's written on your soul. No book, no podcast, no video can do that. Only you. And sure, when you do that alone, it may or likely will take you longer, but there are people who can guide you in your journey or mentor you along the way to the depths of your soul. There are people who can hear what you can't hear and see what you can't see at this moment in time. And that's the work that I do. I see things you can't see and I hear things you cannot hear, the deepest parts of you. I'm here as an intuitive mentor or guide. I shine a light and go before you to meet you at your destination, because that's my power. That's my superpower. My superpower is to help you get to your superpower even more swiftly and joyously, allowing you to say yes to the age of Aquarian, the age of transformation, coming from your place of imagination, living with the freedom of expansion, appearing even more authentically in your power, your superpower. So together we can vibrate our highest expression. And one by one, as this happens, we raise the vibration of our family, our friends, our community, our city, our state, our nation, our continent, our earth. You see, this is huge. It's the world over. You making your biggest impact the world over. And that's how it's done. By accepting the invitation to stand in your power, discover, realize, reclaim, and reconnect with all your missing pieces. Amazing, right? When you express your truest self outwardly, you really, truly become exactly what the world is missing today. It's missing you. Sure, the narcissist, the authoritarian, and the abuser are going to try to keep you under their power. And certainly, the person who wants, or should we say needs, the limelight is not going to share it or support you in your endeavor. And I can promise you, the naysayer is still going to be living in fear and not able to cheer you on in your journey. You know this. I am not telling you anything you don't already know, and I know that. We both can agree. History repeats itself, and the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Can we agree that those people will not be there for you in this journey? Not right now. And the harsh truth is, some of them will never be. But today I want to ask you, and I want you to really hear me and take a moment to feel into my question. Are you going to let that misuse of injustice, as I like to call it, are you going to let that misuse or injustice of power hold you back? What is coming up for you? Be transparent with yourself. Are you going to let that misuse of power or injustice of power hold you back from this most amazing invitation into the age of Aquarius? Do you really wish to remain in this emotional nuttiness, the illusion, and giving into or fighting even conformity? Yeah, I didn't think so. You see, I see you. I see you and I feel you. I see you and I feel you and are ready for and welcoming with open arms this shift into imagination, the place of expansion where you can live even larger because you know that's who you are. That's who you've been called to be. So you can appear authentically as your truest and finest version and vision of yourself, your highest expression of yourself. You, exquisitely aligned. You aligned with your all-knowing divine self or essence. This place of freedom, this place of deep harmony, harmony between your body, your mind, and your soul. And this is where it really gets powerful. You see, because your body, mind, and soul shift and transcend and appear in a new way. Your body becomes a rejuvenating body, even more energetic, even more vibrant. Your mind starts becoming a highly intuitive mind, highly intuitive. Answers start coming from new places, many places. You find them easily because it's no longer a linear path. This is something the mind cannot do and doesn't understand, but the highly intuitive mind works on an entirely different level and in a different way. Your soul starts to become more and more inspiring. You start seeing and perceiving things differently because you're in appreciation and appreciating, growing in value, those gifts within you. You find new inspiration within your own soul, no longer looking or needing to look outside. And so you can see and feel how when you have this combination of the rejuvenating body, the intuitive mind, and your inspiring soul, naturally what happens is that you become more and even more exquisitely aligned with who you're here to be. You become part of the transformation that this new age is bringing forth. This is where you become the most important force for good on the planet. This is where your beauty is your super fuel. This is where your integrity comes from. This is where you become alive from the inside, glowing for all to see. And when this happens, even the naysayer, the limelight lover, the abuser, nor the narcissist will be able to use their power over you. No one and nothing can take that away from you because you've become aligned and grounded in your superpower, exquisitely aligned. As always, if you need help or more information on parts or all of this, I am here for you. That's what I do. If I can't assist you, I can probably find somebody who can. So I look forward to meeting you in your power here in the age of Aquarius. Till next time, be even more exquisite.